Now that the draft and free agency are over, the Denver Broncos still have a massive void on their roster, literally. And this could become a problem for them as the season goes on. But before we talk about that, guys, I want to shout out the affiliate partner for today's video, Whitebeard Signworks. Use code BS30, link in the description below, to save $30 off your first purchase on NFL LED team logo signs, just like this really cool sign behind me. Again, that is code BS30, link in the description below, to save $30 off your first purchase from Whitebeard Signworks. Thank you so much to them. And now back to your regularly scheduled content. Let's go ahead and take a look at the current state of the Denver Broncos roster right now, courtesy of my favorite website, OurLads. On the offensive side of the ball, there are still a few needs that this team might have. Running back, in particular, a third down pass protection running back a la the Samaje Perine role. Tight end, as an inline tight end. If you aren't confident in Adam Troutman at that position, I think the team's more confident in Troutman than fans and media are, certainly more confident than I am. Then we look at the defensive side of the ball, and there is one big need that stands out to me on the defensive side of the ball, and it might be one that is a little bit unexpected to some fans. That is on the defensive line, and I know you're saying, Gage, they have a lot of depth on the defensive line. What are you talking about? But there is still one type of player that the Denver Broncos don't have on their roster, and they need to figure that position out. That is a ginormous 330 plus pound double gap eating defensive tackle. Right now, the Denver Broncos just do not have that kind of player on their roster. They're kind of playing small ball up front. DJ Jones and Malcolm Roach are their two primary nose tackles, and both of them are sub 320 pounds. You need a guy, again, who's 330 plus pounds, who just by standing there can eat up space in the middle of the field and makes it a lot harder for you to run against. DJ Jones and Malcolm Roach are good players up front, but you think about the Buffalo game, and God, I wish ad blocker would work on this site, but you think about the Buffalo game, you think about the Baltimore game, and a couple of these other games where Denver really struggled against the run, and it was because DJ Jones and Malcolm Roach were getting washed out up front because they're just unable to take on double teams with their smaller frame. You need a guy who can take on these sort of double teams, and right now, the Broncos just don't have that kind of guy on their roster. And making matters even more complicated is that when you look at the free agent market right now, what's left over of it, and when you look at anybody who could be available via a trade, there's just not a lot there. There are only really two guys on the free agent market that I could spot that would work in this scenario here, that would fill that role, and those are Jordan Phillips and Linval Joseph. Both of them are veterans, and if we look at their PFF grades against the run, for the past several years, Jordan Phillips has been terrible. I mean, 28.4 PFF run defense grade, and even if PFF grades aren't everybody's cup of tea, if it's something that's that low like that, then you need to pay attention to it, because yeah, these grades are based off of tape, and clearly PFF was not impressed with what they saw, and the same thing goes for a guy like Linval Joseph. The run defense grade is just not good. Joseph's is slightly better than Phillips, but still, man, teams are struggling to find these big players. Joseph is right at that threshold with 329 pounds, and you see Phillips, he's 6'6", 341 pounds, but he's terrible against the run. So the Broncos are kind of screwed right now. There aren't really any good players out there that would fill this role, especially when you look at the trade market. If teams have good players that are big double gap-eating nose tackles, they're not looking to get rid of them. There's really nobody available on the trade market that would make sense to fill this role for the Broncos, so I worry that this is going to be a weakness that the Broncos are going to carry into the season, and it might eventually come back to bite them in a game where they need to stop the run. So I'm concerned about that, especially when you look at teams on their schedule like the Philadelphia Eagles, literally the best running team in the entire league. That scares the living crap out of me. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section below, how concerned are you about the Broncos not really having a double gap-eating, big, giant defensive tackle on their roster, and do you think that that's going to continue to be a shortcoming for them moving forward? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts, as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country, just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.